you do if someone is
the noise, yeah, the mess we make. Machine Pun Kelly get caught in the fake. Facts and logic with a twist of chest. Strip it down to truth, yeah, forget the rest. Humor pulls the lies right out of the park. Look beyond the shadows that set the dark. Sparks of laughter fire up the night, bringing clarity when they blur the fight. Cut through the chaos, yeah, the tangled lies. Steam Pun Kelly with a set of clear eyes. Truths and jokes gonna rock this show. Step into light where the real facts glow.
Welcome to the Pun Show. I did not want to be here today, but here we are. If you haven't heard, this morning, ICE murdered another person in Minnesota. I don't know what else to say about that. I've got the video. You've probably already seen it, but I'm going to go ahead and throw that up there anyway. If you haven't seen, right here, you've got these six, looks like about 6 ICE officers just ganging up on one dude and beating the absolute crap out of him. And I'm going to show you real quick here. Want to zero in on one area. So he's like, it looks like he's on his knees. You can kind of see his knees right there, and they're all ganging up on him. This guy right, like if you, the guy on the left, you can see he's not beating the guy with his fist. He's beating the guy with his gun barrel.
Oh shit! What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Oh shit! What the fuck? They killed him? Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Oh.
Not again! Are you fucking kidding me? That guy.
6-on-1. I don't think there's much question that it could have been avoided. They didn't need to do that. I'm just going to show that the one time because I don't want to make this like a snuff porn site or something. But they just murdered a guy. They just murdered him. And we're going to hear all kinds of justifications about how he was going for one of the ICE officers' guns, or he had a gun on him, as though like only people that are right wing are allowed to have guns. You know, what happened to right to carry? What happened to, you know, having the right to have a gun, you know, without having a bunch of people beat the shit out of you? He didn't pull out a gun. Don't say he pulled out a gun. You can't see a fucking gun there. Sorry, I shouldn't be swearing. It's my channel. But no, he didn't pull out a gun. There's nowhere he pulled out a gun. Just get out of here with your stupid justifications. No, he didn't. He did not pull out a gun. You're not going to come on my channel and lie, Bone. I don't know who you are, but don't lie. You tell that lie again in your band. He did not pull out a gun. You can't see him pulling out a gun. All right, bye. Have a nice time in hell, little bootlicker. No, he did not have a gun. You cannot see him having a gun. And here's the thing. They had 6 officers on him. They had 6 officers beating the crap out of him. Why not just have one officer hold his arms? One officer hold each arm. Then you don't have to worry about it. How about using actual proper police procedure instead of just beating the crap out of the guy. You had enough. You could have one guy kneeling on his back and one guy for each leg and one guy handcuffing him. Instead, you've got all this violent police procedure, beating the crap out of a guy. Boy Scouts are better trained. That's right. This was just a murder. This was just a murder. All of this crap is happening for no reason. There is no reason this has to happen. There's no reason this has to be what it is. They're going after, why are they even there? It's just, it's offensive. It's beyond offensive. It's revolting. It's disgusting. No, we're not talking about Renee Good, Ian. Turn on a TV. They murdered somebody else today. They just murdered him. Just 6 people murdered a guy. Stop justifying ICE just because you're a MAGA. This is how people justified the Gestapo. People justified what was happening in Germany by saying the Jews were bad. What's happening is not right. What is happening is not moral. What is happening is not democracy. What is happening is not according to our Constitution. He wasn't armed, dude. And what happened? Do you have a right to bear arms in the United States of America or not? Or do you only have the right to bear arms if you're American? Or do you only have the rights to bear arms if you agree with Donald Trump? And no, he was not bearing arms. He didn't have any gun. You don't see any gun in the video, do you? You don't see him having a gun. I see 6 people just beating out of one-armed guy.
Yo, we need people on site.
All right? I see a bunch of people beating the crap out of him. I don't see anybody trying to restrain him, restrain his arms. Why aren't they trying to get his arms? Why is this guy just beating him over and over with the barrel of his gun?
Holy shit. What the fuck?
He didn't have a gun.
What the fuck? Shit.
Where's the gun? All I see is a man on his knees getting shot in the head. There is no gun there. There's no gun. Stop lying, people. Why did this girl in the pink, I bet she's got a great video of him not having a gun. And they just executed him. Because they're beating the crap out of him. What's up? Hey, kitty. Rainbow kitty. Do you like them stealing your hard-earned... Dude, ICE is stealing my hard-earned money. ICE is getting my tax money. And ICE is using that tax money to beat the shit out of and murder American citizens. And I don't like that, and you shouldn't either. Oh, I'm not going to relax. I'm upset. I'm upset that my tax dollars are going to suppress the rights of American citizens. My rights are up. I'm upset that my rights are paying for bullets that are going in the heads of American citizens. Yeah, he's dead. They've announced he's dead. I thought... And I'm just so tired of this. The MAGA rush to defend all kinds of evil because it's done in the name of the godly Donald Trump. The man who is a self-avowed pussy grabber. An adjudicated rapist. An admitted court-proven fraudster. And all kinds of fraud. Oh, why? This has to do with Somali people and fraud, but you support him? He's getting $500 million planes for free, and then $1 billion of your tax dollars to go juice it up and spruce it up, and that kind of fraud doesn't bother you? Well, fake fraud by Nick Shirley, a 23-year-old YouTube prankster who doesn't even know what journalism is, probably can't even spell it. He's going to go and do this fake video that's already been debunked over and over again. And you're going to sit there and you're going to say, oh, well, he did this video, and so these Somalis all deserve to be denaturalized and sent back to Somalia, so we have to send the ICE agents in to go after the Somalia people, and then they're shooting American citizens. But it's all okay because Donald Trump said so, and because Somali people have more pigment. I have not seen another video. If you want to show me the other video, then go ahead. But again, it still doesn't matter. Honestly, it does not matter because they had him on the ground. And if they had followed correct police procedure and had somebody securing his arms instead of beating the crap out of him with the barrel of a gun, then he would still be alive right now. So stop apologizing for murder. And he didn't have a gun. Oh, leave them alone. And why? Why? The First Amendment exists, Glenn. People have a right to protest. That's not just a right you get to decide when other people exercise. The entire country exists because we protested. You ever heard of the Boston Tea Party? Guess what? That wasn't a real Tea Party. Did you know that? Did you know that was a protest, Glenn? Or are you that dumb? Or you have your MAGA hat on that tight that it cuts off all circulation to your brain and you are not capable of processing thoughts like a normal human being? It is. It's a rogue militia. Only it's a presidentially ordered rogue militia. It's like a death squad. I've never fought. I'm like really angry. I lived in Minnesota. I love that state. It's a wonderful state except for the weather. The people there are kind. There is no reason that man had to die. There is no reason that man had to die. And not he's still dead. And all these people, oh, why aren't you letting ICE do their job? ICE isn't doing their freaking job. They're running around harassing American citizens, bombing, throwing flash grenades at them, throwing tear gas at them, shoving them on the ground and their face into the ground while they spray tear gas 2 inches from their face right into their eyes. They're not doing their jobs. They're taking out Asian men in their 50s into the freezing cold weather, even though they're American citizens. They won't. I don't care if he's a citizen or not. You can let the man put clothes on. These are not people that are treating other people like human beings. They're the ones instigating all this. ICE is instigating the violence. Don't be a bonehead. ICE is disgusting. These cowards love being tough online. And that's why they always need to have 6-on-1. Have 6 men gang up on one woman. This chick back here in the pink jacket filming it all this, give her an award for courage. What rights are they suppressing? Are you not paying attention? How about the right to protest, Ravi? Did you know that's a protest? That the right to protest is a right? Did you know that freedom of speech is a right? Did you know that freedom of the press is a right? What about the right to deny quarter? The Third Amendment. Ever read that one? What about the Fourth Amendment? The Fourth Amendment, which protects you against unreasonable search and seizure and protects Gestapo from kicking down your door and hauling you off into the Minneapolis winter without a search warrant. What about the Fifth Amendment? The Seventh Amendment? Is it the set? No. Anyway, the 10th Amendment, the 9th Amendment, the 11th Amendment. They're like the only ones they haven't violated are the Second Amendment and the Seventh Amendment. The Second Amendment, of course, you know about Seventh Amendment, I think is the one about lawsuits. That you have the right for a jury if you're suing somebody for over $20. But they've got pretty much the rest of the Bill of Rights down, plus the 11th Amendment. Have you ever read the Constitution, or do you just focus on half the Second Amendment, Robbie? How about you learn before you ask stupid questions on my show? What fraud, dude? How about Donald Trump's fraud? No, fraud is not okay, you bat guana brained, red hat wearing, Donald Trump loving nincompoop. No, it's not okay. That's why I didn't vote for him. Why is it okay with you? Or is it only if black people are accused of it that it's a problem? What about the fact, the absolute fact, that every single daycare center that Nick Shirley accused of fraud, he was wrong on? And that's a proven fact, and you can look it up. Didn't you guys praise the killing? No, I didn't praise the killing of Charlie Kirk. Stop with that. There were some people that were happy about it, and I told them they were wrong. Why is it okay for you to be inconsistent, Ravi? Why is it okay for you to be inconsistent? You're sitting there condemning me for an inconsistency I don't have to justify the inconsistency which you do have. Stop that. Be a grown-up. Own your own faults. Yes, I'm a lot mad, and I'm sorry if it only seems like I'm a little mad. I don't like my tax dollars being paid to murder American citizens. Why aren't you mad? Seriously, everyone should be mad. If you're not mad, something's wrong with you. Absolutely be mad. A lot of robots online to worship Trump. They just come out in droves. It's like you can, when on the YouTube channel, you'll see like all of a sudden 10 people or 15 people or 30 people will come on at one time. Because you know it's like another bot hive. No, if you are smart, I don't know how you can possibly think that Donald Trump, who doesn't even know the difference between Greenland and Iceland, is smart. Only Nazis believe he had a gun. There's no, I have not seen it. Kitty, there's a report of a second. Oh, actually, I need to send you the link. But there's a report of a second video. I don't have time to look at it. If you find one and send it to me, then I can put that on here. But I'll send you the StreamYard link to Blue Sky. So give me a second, y'all, while I take care of that. I don't know if there's a second link or not, but A, I do not see a gun there. B, if there is a gun there, it doesn't matter because they had him down. And if they had been following proper police procedure, as they should have been, they would have been restraining his arm so that he couldn't reach for a gun in case he had one. Number 3, doesn't he have, like, why is it not okay for him to have a gun? It was okay for what's the name, the guy that was too stupid to get into the Air Force or the military. I can't remember what his name is right now. Wisconsin dude that, you know, walked around with his AR-15 or whatever it was, protecting, you know, car dealerships or whatever. It was okay for him to walk around with a gun. But if you're against ICE, you can't have a gun. I thought the whole point of the Second Amendment was that we could have guns to protect ourselves from an overreaching tyranny, from a government tyranny. If he is a protester and he is protesting what he sees as tyranny, does he not have a Second Amendment right to have a gun? Does he have a Second Amendment right to use that gun? It's funny how you people never think about, oh, what if you're the tyrants? Well, are you wrong about the Second Amendment or are you wrong about this? I have not seen any evidence he had a gun. And I was, as soon as I saw the video, I was like, it's only a matter of time before the DHS starts saying he had a gun, because that's what they do, is they lie about things. We know they lied about Renee Good. We know they lied about the Asian guy. They had how many? I think there were like 16 cases. There's been like 16 cases in just the last year where they were thrown out of court because ICE was lying. Like, maybe ICE should stop murdering people, and then ICE should stop lying too. I'm like, I don't care about the Clintons right now, dude. You have such a severe cognitive dissonance. It probably warrants. Oh, look, you learned what cognitive dissonance means. Good for you. You're the guy that doesn't understand. Gangsters need to go to the front line to protect communities since they took so much power from the people. I don't even, you know what this whole thing looks like, this execution? It's not even a murder, it's an execution. It looks like a gang style execution. It looks like you got all these people jumping around, beating on people, you just over and over and over. Accidentally minimized. You got this whole thing over and over and over again. The picture of the guy who was like, had all these ICE agents on top of him, and they've got his face shoved into the actual ice, like not ICE agent, but like ice, frozen water ice, and they're spraying tear gas straight into his eyes from like 2 inches away. That's torture. Like, what? You can't restrain people with 6-on-1 without torturing them? What? No, this is wrong. You need to start crying, Ed. You guys lost your crap because the FBI investigated a bomb threat and called that like some violation of civil rights. Now you've got ICE murdering people for disagreeing with them, and you're like, cry harder. Like, don't be a child. Either you're a bot or a child. Yes, and they're just so dumb. You're either, if you're defending this, you're either stupid or a bot. This has nothing whatsoever to do with Somali fraud, dickhead. Doesn't he think doesn't the left think men can, what is that? Now we're back to trans. Now we got to talk about the trans people. Yes, trans people. What does this have to do with trans people? Other than your brain is not capable of functioning. And either that or your entire Pornhub search is chicks with dicks. And it's like you just fetishize it and you just get angry with the chicks with dicks because they make you so hot and bothered that you have a porn addiction. Majority of America doesn't agree with Trump's regime, which is why his approval rating is lower than low. Well, ICE is definitely killing people. ICE has killed at least 2 people. Nick Shirley is a great young man, and we have seen all the video. No, actually, the video is the real fraud, Garrett. Every single one of the things in his video has been proven false. Bunch of dumb, brainless MAGA bots in here. Just, and it's like, are they bots? Are they just incredibly stupid people? Which is it? I love how Trump has made our nation hate each other so much. Pure hatred and vitriol, 24/7. What a great country it is now. Yeah, it's certainly not getting greater. I mean, the whole idea that this is great. No, people, Trump supporters are like, oh, I voted for this. Well, I didn't vote for this because I'm a human being with humanity. Didn't MAGA? Oh, remember how he didn't have anything to do with Project 2025? He didn't have anything to do with it. He doesn't know anything about it. It's like when they say, oh, I voted for this. And it's like, well, you didn't vote for this because he didn't run on this. Either that or it's funny because people, like when we was running and we were saying all this crap would happen and you're like, oh, you're just being paranoid. You're just, he's not for Project 2025. Well, they are murdering people. And it's not about people being here illegally. That's the pretext. And people like you are too stupid to figure it out. I am tired of trying to apologize and sit there and try to infantilize you people to understand basic things like very, very simple logic. Like American citizens are here legally, you doofus. Oh, yes, yeah. And that's what it comes to, right? Everybody now and then when I get murdered, you'll be celebrating that because everybody that disagrees with you deserves to die, but you're not a Nazi. They don't even have the courage to think. They don't even have the courage to look at reality. Watch 6 men beat and beat and beat a man and then shoot him point blank in the head and say, gee, maybe that is wrong. I lived in Minnesota for 7 years. I loved it there. I have family in Minnesota, and I don't know whether you're saying that what ICE is doing is wrong or that what the protesters are doing is wrong. I'm not sure, because just it's not qualified there. I have a lot of family there that is furious at what ICE is doing. MAGA blatantly lies and Americans hate them. It was so fake the government is stepping down. Yeah, you notice how they, with all this tough and, you got people talking. How come there has been nothing new that's come out of these fraud investigations? Haven't seen one thing about that. Now, one thing about the fraud investigations. They haven't investigated anything. All they've done is go around and just arrest American citizens against their Fourth Amendment rights. Are you an officer, Tyler? Shut up and sit down. This is a place for the grown-ups. Why is it always weak, pathetic men judging heroes and the strength of those? Yes, why is it? Why is it? Why is that the case? Weak, pathetic man. They think the second I'm a YouTuber posting on Twitch. I love that. Do you have like an I'm a Twitchy YouTube account too? You think the Second Amendment only applies to them? Or they think, yeah, they do. They seem to like, seriously, they you know, and I can't get over the irony of it. That this is a protester that they're saying deserved to be shot because he had a gun. When we've got high schools that aren't safe because they keep saying that the Second Amendment is there to protect the First. So if he had a gun, wasn't he just protecting his First Amendment? I don't care. By several rioters until he shot somebody and then he ran away and then they ran after him because he shot somebody. I'm not going to have a Kyle Rittenhouse argument, but yeah, that man is stupider than a bowl of porridge. And the point is, if he can have a gun there, if he did not have that gun there, those people, none of those people would be dead. So if he can have a gun in a protest, why can't people on the other side have a gun in a protest? And you know who's dead? The guy that you're saying had the gun. The guy in Minnesota. Garrett, you are a closeted racist too much of a loser to come out to people around you, so you're racist online. And it makes me sad how much racism there is and how much people ignore this as racist. Who lied? I don't know, somebody. Obama got Poland and Germany mixed up. Oh, 4 times in the same speech? Did Barack Obama, like, okay, I'm just going to put this as clearly as possible. Barack Obama is infinitely more intelligent and more eloquent than Donald Trump is. There is absolutely no honest reading of anything else. That Donald Trump had to cheat to get into undergrad school. Barack Obama has a JD. Barack Obama was a professor at the University of Chicago in constitutional law, one of the most prestigious law schools in the country. Barack Obama was the editor of the Harvard Law Review. You're going to compare him to to Donald Trump? Give me a break. Do you know? I know this is going to shock you, but I live in Texas. And there are illegal aliens here. And it's not a sanctuary state. He didn't put himself in harm's way. The people who put him in harm's way are the 6 people who were beating the crap out of him. I am damn fun at parties, thank you. The people who aren't fun at parties are the ones that think murder is cool because it's ICE doing it. I think you solved the MAGA problem, the toxic chemical from the MAGA hats. I think it is. I think that there's a connection between the hat and the lack of ability to, like, cognitively consider things. I like it's I'm not trying to be insulting when I say MAGAs are stupid. And like Bill Murray once said that it's hard to win an argument with an intelligent person, but it's damn near impossible to win an argument with a stupid person. Because the stupid people cannot understand the argument. They just like sit there and they just keep saying the same stupid stuff over and over and over again. No matter how many different angles you refute it from, no matter how many different tries, no matter how clear you are in debunking their stupidity, they still just have to defend it. And it has to be right because it's what they think, and it's what they think because of what Donald Trump said. If Donald Trump were to die today, they would be sitting there. Okay. If Donald Trump were to die today, they would be looking. Okay. So Kitty has found the video. For those of you who don't know, Kitty is like my, I guess I would say assistant, but she's more like a friend and a volunteer, but she helps me find videos and stuff that are connected to what people are commenting. So she said that she sent me, all right, she sent me this photo. Oh, wow. So this must have been from earlier in the altercation. So this is the photo she sent me. Yeah, this is from. So there's a picture of him with the camera, but then there's this video. Keep here. I'll share this screen. All right. Sorry. So we'll share a couple of things here. First is this screen. Keep your eye on the Fed in the gray jacket. He's disarms man by removing gun from waistband while on the ground. Walks away with the gun before shots are fired. Man on the ground are no longer. So, okay, so this guy in the green jacket.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay. So this guy, you can see it in his hand there. So the one guy, if that was a gun that he had, the guy in the gray jacket was walking away with the gun when he got shot. So if that was a gun, but then there's also this, which it may not have been a gun he was holding. It may have been Kitty, if let me know in the private chat if you want to come on or not, if you want to talk about this at all, in case I'm getting anything confused. But I'll also add so this is an image. This is apparently, I think maybe from earlier on, the guy is taking a picture, like it might have been just his cell phone that he was grabbing or his cell phone that was out. But whatever it was, this other officer had walked away with it before he was shot, based on what she just sent me. So there's and then also, you know, there's still like as was pointed out, he disarms man by removing gun from waistband while on ground, walks away with gun before any shots are fired. Man on the ground, no longer threat, is shot at least 5 to 6 times and killed. Man should have been subdued and apprehended, not executed. This is the main wonk, radical centrist. A man should have been subdued and apprehended, not executed. Open and concealed carry are legal in Minnesota with permit to carry. So there's no, you know, like if this guy actually had a legal right to carry a gun, then there's no reason to shoot him because he had a gun. This is, I mean, like when you talk about Second Amendment rights, that works both ways. And so the other thing about this that, like I was pointing out, they weren't just punching him with their fists. There's the one guy that's on the left who's like reeling back and just slamming the barrel of his gun into the guy's head over and over again. So at what point does this guy fear for his life? You've got six armed people beating him, one of them with a gun. So even then there's a chance of an accidental discharge. You can't obstruct, or okay, does he's not obstructing law enforcement. And then if he is, arrest him, handcuff him, detain him, prosecute him for obstructing justice. Don't execute him point blank in the head. You always want to make it about what the other guy did wrong. Never honestly look at what the cop did wrong. But with Waco or whatever, then it's all the cops should have done everything differently. The FBI should have done everything differently. But when you watch a man summarily get executed on the sidewalks of Minnesota, then he should have just complied. Do will always be in the right until, I don't know what I don't know what that means. Sorry. They tried to arrest him. He resists. So what? Resisting arrest does not justify lethal force. And we don't know what happened. Like all that stuff that led up to it. We don't know what happened. Why were they arresting him? What did he do that merited arrest? Did he just exercise his First Amendment rights? Why were they beating on him? Like, stop just, well, if anybody ever did anything wrong, that doesn't give the ICE the right to murder them. There's still rules for lethal force. Don't agitate law enforcement. Oh, yeah, don't agitate them. They're little children with no self-control, and they can just murder people because they get agitated. If I give them a wet willy, do they get to murder me? Have you ever tried to subdue a man violently? There were 6 of them, Ed. And they're supposed to be trained to do that. There were 6 of them. 6. That's 1 for each arm, 1 for each leg, 1 to kneel on the back, and 1 to put the handcuffs on. They could have done it without executing him. Yeah, see, if nobody protested, then everybody would be happy, right? But what about the right to protest? Is that in the... See, this is what it comes down to, is you guys actually do not care about anybody's rights but your own. And your rights to take away other people's rights is always the greatest right of all. That's the MAGA motto right there. MAGA in a nutshell is I get to tell you what to do. And if you don't do what I tell you to do, I get to kill you. Or ICE gets to kill you. You deserve to die for disagreeing with me. Is First Amendment there to protect our rights of free speech? Our rights to protest? Our rights to religion? Our rights to a free press? Is it or not? They're not letting ICE do their jobs. They're protesting ICE doing their jobs. And that is a constitutional right. Yeah, I haven't heard anything about his citizenship, but there are certain things where I feel like citizenship doesn't matter at that point. Like you don't get, like, it's not wrong because he was a citizen or because he was here legally. It's wrong because murder is wrong. It's wrong because he was a human being. And human beings' rights don't get snuffed out because ICE decided that you were a threat. Yeah, I'm raging again. I'm actually really pissed off on this one, Lord. I'm actually really pissed off. And I would hope that you would be too. Because they're executing people on the city sidewalks. And that makes me angry. And it should make everybody angry. And I would be angry if it were 6 agents that executed one of these militia guys or something like that. Because I do believe the First Amendment right to protect free speech should apply to people who I disagree with. But I remember when Rick Spencer, I think it was Rick Spencer or whatever his name is, the right-wing nut job Nazi guy that like is a self-proclaimed Nazi. I'm not calling him a Nazi. He calls himself a Nazi. And somebody punched him in the face. And then, you had all these MAGAs come on and say, well, I might not agree with what he says, but I agree with his right to say it. And so there was this big thing going on. I agree with his right to say it, even if I disagree with him. Well, where are you now? Where are the people that would fight for Rick Spencer's rights to proclaim and spew Nazi propaganda? Where are you now? You say that you would protect it because he has a right to say it, even if you don't agree with it. Where are you now? Why aren't you defending the people's rights to say things that you disagree with? Because it's starting to sound like the only reason that you were defending Spencer is because you agreed with what he said. And you will only defend the people whose rights are those who say what you want to be said. But, FAFO is not a cool comment here. Like, this is not, that's like just justifying a police state. If extrajudicial, like this was extrajudicial killing, and if it's ruled as unlawful lethal force, then it was murder. It was at least second-degree murder. And there is, from what I see, there is no justification for lethal force there. And a police officer killing somebody without justification for lethal force, that is called murder. Ask the Chauvin guy, Chauvin or whatever his name is, the guy that murdered George Floyd. He's in prison right now for murder. Resisting does not justify killing somebody. Grow up. Exactly. Thank you. You don't know oppression. Actually, you know what? I mentioned this before. I've lived in countries where oppression was real. I lived in Liberia, West Africa from 1982 to 1984. And there was a man there that was Samuel Canyon Doe. He overthrew the country in this coup. It was actually kind of, he didn't even have a high school education, but there were some college guys, some officers that had actually developed a coup plan, and he stole their coup plan and carried out their coup. And they lined up the whole family and the whole cabinet, like 13 people on the beach, and they decapitated them on live TV. And they took over that country. And there were all kinds of stuff. I mean, that's horrific things. I had a classmate who watched her mother and sister get raped and murdered. So yeah, I know what oppression is. And I never thought that I would see something like this on the streets of America, where you have armed federal agents surrounding a man and beating him and then pulling out their gun and executing him while he's on his knees, point blank. That is some serious Nazi style feces. I know exactly what I saw, and I don't know what led up to it, but I know in the moment that I saw that there was a reasonable way and means in which they could have not had that conclusion. I know that there is a history here, going back weeks, of ICE agents consistently aggravating and consistently escalating situations instead of de-escalating them. I know that ICE has lied at least 16 times in court and had cases thrown out because of those lies. I know they lied deliberately about Renee Good. Whether you want to talk, we don't need to get in a whole debate about that. But that guy, the way that they first described it is that there was a riot going on and there were these agents that were trying to dig their car out of ICE. And then she came along and she aimed their car at him and she was trying to hit him. And then he fired and shot her in self-defense. And that is not at all what happened. There was no riot. The car had already gotten out of the ICE and driven past her. And then he parked and he got over and he had to be a man and prove he had a penis. And so then he shot her 3 times. So yeah, I also have a brain and I actually use mine instead of just handing it over to Donald Trump. The First Amendment, like in this case, at least possibly and probably the First Amendment right to protest. People are allowed to protest ICE. We need to prosecute so many people. Stephen Miller among them. And Stephen Miller should be like sentenced to go to the rooftop at sunrise. Now, people on January 6th got pardoned. Once they take away your voice, you're done. Oh, we've got some. So there's a presser going on right now. Kitty's keeping track of that for me, and she'll let me know if anything's going on. So I don't know what people are praising Stalin has to do with this, or like this has always got to be the thing that MAGAs do, is that as soon as they're losing the argument and they can't defend ICE executing a man on the city streets of sidewalks, then it's got to be about made up stuff and whatabouts and false dichotomies and stupid things like people praising Stalin is okay. Got it. Okay. People praising Stalin is legal. People praising Hitler is legal. I'm not okay with either one, but it's legal and it's not justification for shooting somebody in the head at point blank. And the thing, yeah, people that complain about communism really have no idea at all what communism is or what Karl Marx wrote. And they'll sit there and they'll quote, like Malcolm X and like 2 sentences of Malcolm X as though they're authorities on what Malcolm X said. Do me a favor and name one of the 3 black or brown Americans that were shot in the exact same manner as Renee Good in the last 8 months. Any clue of these names or just... Actually, yes, I do know who some of them were, and I've actually talked about this before, and it's not relevant. I'm not going to let you side rail the conversation. ICE are murderers, saying they are not shows delusion. Reality does not agree with you, MAGA fools. All right, Matthew, please stop posting the same comment over and over again. All right. All right. Spamming comments, if you look in the thing, spamming comments is a reason for me to like I said, if you keep spamming, then it's then I'll block you from the channel. I just like I've answered your question. Asking it 100,000 times is not your incredibly irrelevant question. Does not really apply here, and it's not like you're concerned about the black or brown people who have been shot. Derek Chauvin didn't. Yes, he did. Derek Chauvin was convicted of murder. He absolutely murdered George Floyd. First Amendment, yeah, well, then if somebody was obstructing justice, then arrest them for that and charge them with it. Do you know how many people have been charged and convicted of obstruction of justice for obstructing ICE in the last year plus since Donald Trump took over? Do you know how many people have actually been convicted of that? One. There's been one conviction of obstruction of justice for preventing ICE from being able to do their jobs. So maybe that's just, the dog wagging you, Lord. Like that's not happening. They're not obstructing justice. In order for it to be obstruction of justice, according to the law, that has to be forcibly. That means they have to be physically preventing ICE from doing its job. So even in the case of Renee Good, since John Ross was able to drive past her car, she was not obstructing justice. We don't know what this guy was doing, but it doesn't look like he was obstructing justice. But if he was, arrest him and then detain him. Don't execute him on the sidewalk streets. Just saying, or on the sidewalks of Minneapolis, just saying obstruction doesn't validate it. Obstruction of justice is not grounds for lethal force. So, Matthew, I do want to learn. Knowledge is powerful. If you truly want us to not be as dumb as you claim we are, then you should elucidate us. There was a guy, what is his name? Who I can't think of his name. Menendez or what is his name? He was shot like 6 times, and they said that he was trying to ram ICE, and then it turned out ICE rammed him. Or is it a her? Trying to. No. Sorry, just trying to look this up. There was like a guy that they said rammed him, and then, or they said he rammed them, and then they got the video, and it actually turned out that they rammed him, and then they shot him. Marmar Martinez in Brighton Park, Chicago. DHS initially described Martinez and others as domestic terrorists and claimed they were part of a convoy that rammed their vehicle during what DHS called an ambush. DHS said 10 cars had boxed in agents and that Martinez brandished a weapon. However, Martinez's attorney claimed he had viewed body cam view that showed the federal officers swerve into Martinez's car. When I watched the video after this agent says, "Do something, B," I see the driver of this vehicle turn the wheel to the left, which would be consistent with him running into Miss Martinez's vehicle. Okay, so it's a girl. But anyway, there were like 16 cases where ICE like just lied and got things thrown out of court. The judge in Minnesota has determined like there are over 600 incidents of ICE violating civil liberties and telling them that they needed to like back down. The gang members are ICE. What, like, why was Renee Good wasn't a gang member? Why do I have to talk about gang? If you're like, what is the point of talking about gang members? This has nothing to do with gang members. And you know what else? They're not getting gang members. Like they're talking about this like it's all about cartels and gang members. Like when I think of drug cartels in the country, the first thing I think of is not, oh, those cartels in Minnesota. Yeah, it's also worth mentioning that Charlie Kirk was, for the people that are talking, my tax dollars didn't finance the killing of Charlie Kirk. Well, but it depends on what you mean by interfering, dude. According to the statute, it has to be forcibly. This is both, and I've gone over, I don't know if you were here for that show or not, but I've gone over the court history of it, the actual wording of the law and everything. But forcibly, I think the key word is forcibly, and it has to be forcibly, which the courts have always interpreted. It's been circuit courts. It's never gone to the Supreme Court, but there's been like 7 different circuit court rulings that have established that forcibly here means physically, and that all the things like all the verbs in that are modified by the one word forcibly. So by the statute, it has to be physically preventing an ICE agent from being able to do what they're doing. So like honking your horn or blowing whistles or any of that stuff. None of that is considered obstruction of justice by the courts or by the statute. And all of that is covered by the First Amendment. Like we have to actually be a country that is a rule of law, and the Constitution still has to apply. We don't get to just redefine everything now because Donald Trump is president and he's made illegals being the worst people on earth. Yeah. there was that small problem that it was like an actual literal coup, which of course they'll always want to pretend that it wasn't, and they'll try and justify what's her name. You know, I had a guy tell me yesterday that in a reply that she was just Ashley Babbitt was just outside and trying to climb a gate or something, like was correcting me for saying that she was trying to climb through the window of a barricaded door that was the last separation between her and Mike Pence. Yeah, did you see that altercation with him and one of the actual protesters who was pardoned? The guy had threatened to rape his children, and they're all, you know, of course, MAGA's all like, "Oh, he's lost it." Yeah, well, you know, I have a feeling if somebody threatened to rape your children after they tried to murder you, you might be upset too. You guys stormed our Capitol over a stolen election, where the proof is still hidden under my pillow, and you're going to complain about how they protest? That's pretty effing pathetic. Remember how he pardoned a drug trafficker and then forgot about it? You know, and this is like they talk about auto pen, and then he's like, he doesn't even know who he pardoned or when. Donald Trump is an auto pen. Like, if the problem with an auto pen is that Joe Biden didn't know who he is pardoning or why, then why is it okay for Donald Trump to be pardoning people when he doesn't know who he pardoned or why? Why is it okay for Donald Trump to be sitting there signing legislation where they have to explain it to him like he's some sort of toddler? And he's just like, oh, okay. They're just handing him stuff and saying, well, this says this, as though he's, like, and they're like in this Sesame Street sing-songy voice as they explain to him this video, that this bill that is actually kind of complicated, and when she has no comprehension of it all. But when Joe Biden did it, it was terrible. You're like, oh, you were okay with Joe Biden did it. You weren't okay when Joe Biden did it. He gave him real USD to get him to respond. I don't. Oh, what's this? Did somebody give me a super comment or something? I don't. So Kitty told me to tell people that you're getting banned if you're on bad behavior. She's mad. Oh, so there's something about the moments before the shooting on Twitter. From okay, so I'm watching this for the first time with you guys. Is it on?
Fuck?
Oh no, that's this one. Okay.
Yeah, I'm really good at this. New Year's friends.
So that's where he's just sitting there holding his phone.
Let's go around.
And they're backing him up. I don't know. He doesn't look like a Somali guy. So he's another 37-year-old U.S. citizen. He was a lawful gun owner with a permit to carry. Okay, and that's the video we've already seen. I have not seen any video of him showing a gun. I've seen people say there's video of him showing a gun, but I have not seen any video. You can keep spewing your Fox headline, but it doesn't make it true. The dude suffocated for a man. Oh, wow. Am I doing the thing where I'm like way behind? I'm only about 7 minutes behind. Funny how everybody's claiming that she was stopping ICE from doing their jobs, but somehow she was, yeah. They like Jonathan Ross actually drove past her, then parked his car, then got out and approached her. Like he drove past her before he stopped her and shot her. So if he wasn't able to drive past her, how did he drive past her? It's just like so dumb. This is one of those things where, I could understand if you at the moment you kind of seized on to a talking point, but the fact he drove past her is undeniable proof that he could drive past her. ICE are targeting anyone. Oh, whoops. I see you, Kitty. New angle. Oh, we've got another video with a new angle. All right, so let's go here. All right, warning. Okay, whoops. Here, we'll just. Looks like there might be a lot of video of this. See anything. Oh, whoops. I'm sorry, I was watching all that and I didn't have my screen shared.
Did they fucking kill that guy? Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Sorry about that. The other way. Audio. Sorry about the nasty confusion here. Okay, all right, so there. All right, so let's. So this is the one. All right, so you can see him being approached here, and then oh, that's the prior one. Oh goodness, sorry. We'll get there. Oh, this one. So this one is the guy is sitting there in his car. This is like some journalist. So then he doesn't know what's about to happen. You can kind of see it way up there. But can't really. It's like it looks like it's up at the top of the screen where everything is going on. But you can't really get much new information there. Just the people running away after the shooting. So you guys want the immigrants? This was an American citizen that was murdered. It has nothing to do with illegal immigrants. Trump uses the auto pen too. It's just propaganda. Oops, I typed Trump, so it triggered the bots. We're actually down to, I think most of the bots have either been banned or have left because it's, and that then the conversation gets down to reasonable. Only 7 minutes? That's like 50 messages. He definitely looks like he's obstructing justice as he backs away from the officer. Yeah, usually the backing away from the officer is a sure sign that there's obstruction. For the first time in the history of the United States, the president of the United States is no longer considered the president of the United States wasn't considered the leader of the free world until after World War II, pretty much. But for the first time since World War II, yeah. It's bad enough that my sitting president has protests against him in his own country, but has protests against him in other countries. They definitely failed at making America great again. I don't even know what the goal is. They practically emptied the clip monsters, ICER monsters. It's just an execution. Did you see this one? I think there must have been a link there that was attached to it. But maggots can't see. I just don't understand how people can come on here and defend this. It makes me sad. It makes me wonder what happened to the soul of our nation. That we can't even just look at a case like this of just murder and think it's wrong. At what point does DHS try to rein in their terrorists? Because that's what it is. They're just terrorists. They are literally doing terrorism. They are terrorizing the streets of Minnesota. They are terrorists. Donald Trump is a terrorist leader. I have family in Minnesota that, they're citizens and, born and raised, and, like my family goes back centuries in the United States. And you shouldn't have to, like, even if you're a naturalized citizen or if you're here legally, or if you're just a human being, you should be able to walk around on city streets without worrying about getting murdered. That guy does not deserve to be dead right now. And you have people justifying it. And until they unmask, I'm going to assume that's all of them. Like, I think we should, I almost wish that there would be another COVID mandate outbreak so that people would they'd have to not wear their masks to prove that, they're real men. They've kidnapped a couple of the witnesses and holding them. I worry about the woman in the pink parka. I mean, she's got footage. Have they destroyed her camera yet? Have they destroyed her phone? I bet they have. I bet they've confiscated her phone and they won't let her show it, which is a violation of the First Amendment. No, dude. They don't accidentally grab American citizens because we don't let them do their jobs. You have 6 of them visibly approaching him and pushing him back. They didn't accidentally do it. They didn't go, oops. This guy is obviously American. And you know what? We're allowed to protest. We have a First Amendment right to protest. You don't get to tell us when a protest is allowed. That's kind of the whole point of protesting. Also, you guys want to talk terrorists. Then how come us immigrants keep trying to tell you guys to stop? I don't know who you are or what you think I'm speaking for, but, I do not just... Yeah, you're an idiot. I'm just looking at your other comments. There's too much stupid in all that. And I don't even believe, why do people think that they can come on here and just lie? You're not an immigrant. You're just an asshole. Accidentally, ICE doesn't care. Kiss my hairballs. That is your best option. Yeah, let's get rid of her. Oh. Yeah. I'm tired of this kind of just. And so much for Iowa. You know what Iowa? Did you know Iowa is an acronym? Idiots out walking around. The tide is going to change. Or either that or I owe the world an apology. Like I said, I went to Minnesota and we had a rivalry, so we have some good Iowa jokes up there. The tide is going to change. ICE has created an extremely volatile environment. It's going to get very ugly, I'm afraid. And I think that when you see things like 6 ICE agents beating the crap out of an American citizen and then executing him point blank, shot in the head, it reminds me of there's a specific scene in Schindler's List. Hey, Patsy, what's up? You have something? We've got some new stuff. Okay. So we've got something from the Cranston. One of the Cranstons. So, all right. So, got a Cranston. I don't know which one is which, but one of them has proof. We're going to look at this proof. And let me make sure.
Was shot 10 times in Minneapolis. I want to show you what appears to be irrefutable evidence that he was unarmed at the time. You can see right here that one of the agents, unarmed, no gun, is walking up to the man. Now, he reaches where this person, the suspect, would have had a gun. And you can see right here, he pulls out a gun. So the man was armed. The man who was being attacked by ICE was armed. But at this point, he's no longer armed. Now, this is when the gunshots start ringing.
What the fuck?
A man was just shot 10 times in Minneapolis.
So, yeah, we pointed that out before, that it looked like he had already been, somebody had already. So there's the guy. Yeah, this seems to be the. So he reaches in. This is apparently the gun he was armed with. And again, there's nothing to show he was going for his gun or pointing it at anybody. But they had taken the gun from him, and the guy was licensed to carry. The guy was holding a gun legally. The guy was allowed to have this gun. He apparently did not start this melee with the ICE. ICE accosted him, started beating the shit out of him, grabbed his gun, and then executed him point blank, a la Schindler's List. This is just 100% a pure, unadulterated violation of human rights. Oh, thank you, Mr. Lease. Appreciate the contribution to the effort. That actually is, I really do appreciate when you guys buy those things for me. I don't know how it all works out, but Republicans, that one is actually particularly cool because it puts me over the threshold to get my next check. Republicans stormed our Capitol over the election being stolen, with the proof still hidden under my pillow, guy's pillow, right? So, anyway, I just wanted to jump on, and I didn't want to do a whole show on this today. We're up to about an hour and a half, which I think is sufficient. I don't know if anything new will come out of this. It's time. It's just time. It's just time. And even if you're not, like, even if you're for immigration reform, and even if you're for mass deportations, you can be for mass deportations and not for the execution of American citizens on the city sidewalks. Have your conscience. You can't be all. You can't be on the one hand saying that the Second Amendment protects us from the First, and then advocate for murdering somebody because they had a gun while they were protesting. Those things are just mutually exclusive. You're either for it or you're against it. Thank you. I hope that's a good thing and not a bad thing, but like I feel like that this is what the Trump administration, the entire MAGA movement does, is there's something called Gish Gallop, which, if you've never heard of it, how did that? I think there was like a professor or something, I think they called it, and I think his name was Gish. There was this guy named Gish that referred to, Duane Gish was a biochemist and prominent creationist debater who became famous. Oh, so Gish is the guy that did it. He was a creationist debater who famously became famous for this particular debate style. Gish was called a creation for the way he relished confrontations of formal debates with evolutionary biologists usually held on university campuses. The technique involves confronting an opponent with a rapid series of specious arguments, half-truths, misrepresentations, and outright lies, making it impossible for the opponent to refute all of them from within the format of the debate. So, like, if you say 27 lies in one sentence, then the person can't, in the time allotted, refute all 27 lies. So Scott explained it as when you spew out a ton of information, accurate or not, that your opponent has no possibility of refuting them in the time available. The name perfectly captures both the person who popularized it and the rapid-fire nature of the technique of the Gallop. And this is what we call a Gish Gallop, and it is what Donald Trump and the Trump administration and Stephen Miller and all of these people do, is they will come on and they will say something, and like 1 minute they can tell 12 lies. And if you can only address 3 of those lies, just by virtue of the fact they haven't been addressed, the other 9 lies stand. And so it can be hard to focus on what is the essential thing and to not be distracted by all the other lies. It doesn't matter if he was armed or not. It doesn't matter if he was obstructing or not. It doesn't matter if whatever they want to say. All that matters is, 1, he had a right to protest, and 2, he was not actually threatening the lives of anybody when all of this altercation started. And he's dead now. And he was not armed when they killed him. If he was armed at the beginning and then they disarmed him, then don't kill him. A reminder to Republicans, you can still be a Republican, be anti-Trump. The party existed. Right. That's like, You can just be on the side of reality. Like in this case, the guy did not have a gun when they shot him point blank in the head. In reality, there were 6 ICE agents on him. In reality, they were not following proper police procedure, the same as with Renee Good. When ineptness leads to, justified, lethal force, then you've got a problem. Like, you shouldn't have to bend over backwards to defend lethal force. All of this is to protect. Yeah. All of this is to deflect from the real issue, which is Epstein. Remember, Epstein was the #1 issue that everybody was worried about when the Nick Shirley videos came out. Then the Nick Shirley videos came out, which were totally bogus. And after the Nick Shirley videos came out, then it was like, oh, there's all this new fraud. All the other fraud had already been prosecuted. And then you've got Donald Trump sitting there going, oh, we're going to take away the citizenship of all the Somalis, as though all the Somalis were somehow involved in this. And then it was like, we need to send ICE agents to round up all these Somali illegals, even though most of the 92% of the population of the Somali population of Minnesota is not just there legally, are actually citizens. There's not that many non-citizen Somalis in Minnesota. And most of the ones that are there that aren't citizens are here legally. This has nothing to do with ICE. This has to do with going after, sending ICE agents after people who are citizens because of a generalization fallacy wrapped up in a bogus investigation by a 23-year-old YouTube kid who was acting on the instructions of the main Republican running for governor of Minnesota. This is a political hatchet job turned into murdering American citizens on the streets of Minnesota. Yes, I'm such a traitor that I want the Republicans to stop being racist and protecting pedophiles. I'm such a traitor that I want America to be great like it used to be prior to Trump. Okay, so I don't admit I'm wrong, Brian, because I've already shown tape that they had taken away the gun from him before he was shot, #1. #2, he had an actual right to carry that gun. Stay with it, Brian. I know that you are never going to acknowledge those things. You're just going to repeat that over and over again because that's the way you are. That's the way you respond to things, is just pretend that it was never addressed. But we literally just spent 30 minutes talking about that, Brian. I'm the traitor because I don't want my country to be a fascist like you people. I'm the traitor because I want my leader to be the leader of the free world like he's always been in the past, instead of this whole peace panel thing, which seems to be like ironically named, like calling the bald guy Curly or the fat guy Slim. Like it's just like a league of oligarch dictators and despots. Authoritarian despot council is what it should be called. It takes 10 seconds to say a lie and 30 more to disprove it. Yeah, I'm a traitor because with my own eyes, I can see a woman. I'm slippery there is like, I'm feeling your rage. That's what I feel. You guys are in a bubble. Everything you accuse No, dude, we're not in your bubble. You guys think that everybody that's not in your bubble is in a different bubble. We're just not in your bubble. No, I do not recall Joe Biden sending out ICE agents and killing thousands of people. So no, I do not accept that because I'm in a bubble, we do, and we're guilty of it 1,000-fold. I think that what you're doing is sticking your fingers in your ears, protecting your little MAGA bubble, and screaming at the top of your lungs to keep an alternate actual reality, the actual reality, the one that dares confront your bubble. Get out of your bubble. I'm sitting there, I'm telling you facts, and you're ignoring them. Try to take over Greenland. I'm the traitor, and they lift their dumbass president. To take over Greenland because he was crying for a peace prize. Yes, the irony of that will never go away. See, wrong again, Kelly. Quit running off at the mouth. It was not ICE, it was border. I don't know if I'm wrong or not, but you have hardly been the one that's been reality, and I don't really care. I don't really think that distinction makes a difference. What I do know is that 6 people beat the crap out of him, took his gun away, which he was lawfully allowed to carry, and then shot him in the head. And we've shown all of that on the show. So don't sit there and go, wrong again. Quit running off at the mouth. I'm not going to admit I was wrong about things that you are wrong about and refuse to learn about. All right, since you just logged on and everything needs to be repeated just for you, I will show you. First of all, it's been confirmed over and over again that okay, so here we've got the somebody broke it down in the Mike Jolliet broke it down into these 4 screen caps. So here's this guy, he's walking up there without a gun. All right. There he is reaching in and grabbing something from the dude that they murdered. All right. There he is with the gun of the guy that he murdered. And this is the guy holding the gun, still has not fired. And there is the gun that's in the seat. So he was lawfully allowed to carry a gun. He had a concealed carry permit. He did not initiate any of the interaction with ICE. You can see that from right here, where they're talking to him. Or wait, what? Yeah, this one. So right here, you can see the ICE is actually interacting with him. All he's doing right there is showing his camera, and they walk up to him and they back him up, and then he just backs up. See, he's backing up, he's backing up, he's backing up. So he's not being a threat. He's not doing anything. He's not reaching for his gun. And then they beat the crap out of him, and then they take his gun, and then they shoot him. So no, Brian, how about you admit you're wrong? You will never admit you're wrong. I've proven you wrong like 100 times on this show. And all you do is you come in on the comments and the shorts and you go, oh, he will never admit he's wrong. Even though you just get punked every day on this show. I dunk on you. I dunk on you like you're Kevin Hart and I'm Michael Jordan, and you don't even have the brains to realize you've been dunked on. We didn't kill 5,000 people during any riots, dude. That's just like totally made up. Williams is gonna, yeah. That Portland is still on fire apparently because they're still showing the rerun. Sorry, okay. Oh, I did that yesterday. I'll have to do that. I'll do that after the show, Patsy. Hopefully he's okay. I did that too once, accidentally. I accidentally banned the wrong person one time. But we're trying to keep the comments under control, like the ones that are just obviously here to troll. Anyway, we're not here to. I'm not trying to prevent people from having counter arguments, but I mean people that are just here to troll. You know, like if otherwise, you know, like anyway. We are trying to get rid of blocks. Okay. Let me see if I can. I'm going to try and do this mid-show right now. I'm not sure I can. Okay. All right. Sorry, I don't know how to. There's somebody that we accidentally banned, but I'll have to. Yeah, most of the trolls have left. We're trying to filter out, like, trying to filter out the difference between trolls and people that just disagree. I think there are some, like, I don't have any trouble with people coming on and having actual, like, real disagreements. I don't think you have to agree with me, and I'll put your comments on the thing, but some of the stuff is just, you know, like Brian, if we banned everybody that disagreed, Brian would have been banned already. But Brian actually, as much as he refuses to learn and accept things and admit when he's wrong, he's not a troll. He's just a wrong person. So I don't ban him. All right. So Kitty says, right, we want differences of opinion, but I am totalitarian, but I am not totalitarian attacking other people. Yeah, so anyway, I think we've got mostly a friendly crowd now of using slurs. Yeah, we don't like slurs. And I've banned the use of certain words. Like the R word. Can't use the R word. You can use it, but your comment won't show up. Oh, I'm sorry, Kitty. Rainbow Kitty is an awesome subscriber. So anyway, I was so mad. I just had to come on and yell about this a little bit. So I think that's it for today. Didn't really plan on a full day or anything, but I do appreciate you guys for watching. Hope you're as mad as me, and I will see you on Monday.